What's going on, Virgo? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're getting pumped for your birthday season because it's officially started. Yeah. And, well, no, I don't want to say unfortunately. You know what? No, I'm going to say fortunately, too. Your ruler is actually going to be going retrograde today. I think at about 3:59 p.m. and that's Eastern time. So you're going to be a very reflective start for your birthday season, Virgo. But I feel like that's a great place to be. You can still have fun and be thinking about all the ways you want to grow. But for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just incredible, Virgo, especially during your birthday season. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. You're in for an amazing journey. I hope you're enjoying your birthday season too. You know, for those of you who got a birthday this week, happy birthday. Happy birthday, happy birthday. And also, guess what, Virgo? It is General Energy Weekly Spread. I know I'm putting on like a whole concert for you, Virgo. I don't want to spoil you. But with this weekly spread, whenever you happen to come across this video, there may be some messages in here for you. And just so y'all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. And I hope you caught that released your solar return video there, Virgo. So look at that. You're just getting all kinds of treats today. And guess what? Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, they are just through the roof. That is your birthday. just fantastic energy all around here, Virgo. Now, I'm going to pull a few oracle cards from this deck here, and then we will get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And in case if y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below are some links for some other readers that are like watching Virgo, so definitely check them out. Very intuitive group. I think you'd really enjoy them. But let's get to your first card here. Oh, look at that, Virgo. Looks like we may be having a little get-together here with the fam, because you got the fourth card of Leo's here, which is family card. And with this card, this is a card of loyalty, faithful, allegiance, parents, children, siblings, fidelity, commitment, trust, affection, support systems, or origins, tribe, dependable, sincere, and kindred spirits. An energy that's coming through here, Virgo, is a commitment. And maybe for some, we might be, since we are kind of getting in this sort of like reflective place, maybe we've been thinking about the commitments that we have. Maybe this could be, for example, maybe this could be like our commitment to our jobs, possibly. Maybe we're wondering if this is where, is this going to be taking us to where we want to be further along on our journey, or maybe we need to reevaluate things and maybe kind of make a next move. You know, maybe we've kind of plateaued there and gotten everything that we need. And not to say that I'm not saying we're quitting our jobs or anything, Virgo, but just might be something we might be thinking about. Or maybe this is something where we might be thinking about our relationships possibly, and just wondering if this is the commitments that, are we getting that reciprocity, that kind of Six of Pentacles, or things feeling balanced. And this doesn't even just have to be in love. This can maybe be, maybe we commit a lot to our families, and if we're, or to maybe to our friends, or however this is looking. And it's just like maybe we're wondering if we're maybe over giving, because I feel like, Virgo, you being a sign of service, you always want to, I feel like sometimes your energy does get a little misunderstood too, because where, yes, it can come across maybe as a little overcritical at times, but I feel like your heart is always in the right place. It's just like when someone presents you with an issue, you're just like, oh, all you need to do is blah, 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 X, Y, and Z, and your shit's done. Oh, excuse me, Virgo. We're going to move past that. For those of you, okay, let me go ahead and put a disclaimer. Yeah, that was, heard. And see, we're getting a little loose for your birthday season. It's fine. But moving on. But maybe we're just like, I feel that maybe we're wondering if, it's just like, I feel like maybe we're just thinking if people really kind of appreciate maybe the level at which you do commit, because I feel that, and And that's something to think about too, Virgo, because where I know again your heart is in the right place, but if people aren't ready to receive those critiques or to receive your advice for growth, then we just have to let them kind of be, and let them sort of figure this out and experience things on their own terms there, Virgo. But let's get some tarot on this and get some details. Because maybe even some too, maybe some we're thinking about, maybe we're in a relationship, just thinking with families, maybe someone wants to take it to the next level, or you want to as well, and it's just not there. And it's just like, if so, is that going to be a deal breaker or not? But yeah, let me get some more of this before we get some details. Thank you. Alright, Virgo, let's see what's going on here. Interesting. Alright, Virgo. Fascinating. So you have the Fool, the Emperor, the Two of Pentacles, and the Four of Wands up right here. And the energy let's talk about the Four of Wands first. Because, the Four of Wands can be a card of commitment. Whether this be, yes, it can be marriage. So maybe for some, maybe we're thinking about taking things to that next level, starting something brand new, really kind of committing to something that's more of a solid foundation, like with the Emperor. It's like we're ready to take things serious. Or it could be vice versa, Virgo. Maybe someone is wanting to take things to that next level. And that is a big question to ask, especially when we're thinking about starting a family. Not even just necessarily with kids, but just like when you're going to just move into, where we're sharing like the same space with each other. Are the energies, because there's going to be an adjustment period for sure, especially when we're making this stuff, but do our energies for the most part flow? Are we able to get into this routine of life, or is this something where maybe we need to kind of reevaluate things? Are we jumping in a little too fast? This is, it might seem kind of good on paper at first, because I'm just thinking with Venus, the Four of Wands, this is Venus in Aries, and I feel that's a very passionate placement for the Empress to have. And considering you got Aries energy as well with the Emperor, sometimes things can seem really nice in that moment. Even just thinking with Leo energy, with this fourth card of Leos, it may, that initial sort of like excitement, like that honeymoon phase, we're ready to move real fast, everything is seeming lovely and fantastic, but then when we're in the same space, we may notice that, like, oh, I don't care for that you don't do the dishes, or that maybe you tend to leave the toilet seat up, or maybe there's, there could be a number of things, and where that stuff kind of adds up, and now we've committed to this thing, and now we may end up stuck. So I feel like that if we're thinking about taking things to that next level, to make sure that we're just really kind of weighing the options and making sure that that both parties are serious when it comes down to this type of stuff here. And this could even be something too, just think with the Two of Pentacles. Maybe this is like, even just thinking in like business, maybe some of us might be thinking about going into partnerships with someone, maybe going down like becoming, just going like half and half, or becoming like just, business, associates, partners and things. And that's a big deal too, when we start getting into contracts and things. So we just want to make sure that just everything is lined up there before is overall the energy that I'm kind of getting before we just sort of jump into things, Virgo. All right, Virgo. Nice little start there. Let's see what else we got going on here. I'm going to blame that little slip up on Mercury retrograde, because I'm normally really good about that. But every now and again, I did it on one of my Cancer videos when I was doing a chart analysis. It was like, I was like an hour in. It's just like, well, I'm not going to go ahead and start that over. So, yeah, my bad, Virgo. Oh, and that's fine, Virgo, because that's how we redeem ourselves, because we got one of your cards, the third card of you, which is the Chess card. And with this card, this is a card of strategy, planning, checkmate, grand design, thinking ahead, tactics, moves and counter moves, master plan, course of action, power play, game theory, and consequences of actions. An energy that's coming through here, Virgo, is the thinking ahead. And so just kind of piggybacking off of that commitment, and this could be whether we're committing to maybe even like buying a house, maybe buying a car, or maybe even committing to like maybe moving or something along those lines. I feel like that there is this energy of making sure that we really are planning things out and really kind of slowing things down. I feel like especially too considering that your ruler is going retrograde, and actually Uranus is going to be going retrograde here on the 28th of October. Or excuse me, not of October, but of August. And whereas considering like novel things, I just feel like we want to. Sometimes I feel like the idea of something new, that excitement can get us. We can get so passionate about that we don't see. Because you see here, the Fool is super excited. We're getting ready to do new opportunities, but there is that cliff, there is that chance of things going false. And there's always going to be challenges and things along the way, Virgo, but I feel that this is one where it's like we're taking a risk, but taking calculated risk, because that dog is supposed to represent just like, like it's almost like just like a warning of just like, hey, there is potential to kind of fall on your face here. And it's just like we want to make sure that we've at least have like a safety net. It's not even saying that we're not making moves, Virgo, but just to make sure that you're secure on the off chance of just of a rainy day is what I'm really kind of getting with this energy. And I feel like that's usually really good. And I might be just kind of preach to the choir here, just because I mean your sign is a very analytical sign and very very much very detail oriented. But again, with Mercury retrograde, things might get a little foggy there. So just kind of something to think about there, Virgo. But let's get some tarot on this. Thank you. Let's see what's going on here, Virgo. All right, Virgo. So you have one of your cards, actually Mercury in Virgo, so that's fascinating. It's retrograde. But you have the Ten of Pentacles and the Four of Swords in reverse here. And then we have the Seven of Wands and then the Six of Swords upright. And Virgo, and again, like this is not me trying to get you scared or anything, but this is just this. I feel like that there's a really strong emphasis on really thinking of how your decisions and your commitments affect you long term. As far as like whatever choices you make. If there's something that, because maybe for some, I almost am kind of getting with this Seven of Wands and even with this Emperor here, that's kind of popping in my head earlier, that maybe for some, it's not necessarily that we're being bullied into making moves, but maybe we feel that we need to make these moves because of like criticisms. For example, let's say if we've been getting stuff from like family, for example, so it's like, well, Virgo, how come you're not settled down? How come you're not married? How come you're not this? How come you're not that? And then maybe that's making us make moves that we wouldn't normally make because we're feeling that type of pressure and things along those lines. And I feel like before we go about making new experiences, we don't want to. I feel like we want to make sure that the thoughts that are coming through are our own here. We don't want others putting holes in our boat essentially on this thing. And I almost feel like with the Four of Swords that this is an energy of, again, just kind of like slowing down a little bit, taking a beat before making any sort of like serious decisions. Again, maybe like signing down on a house, or maybe even like moving in with someone or whatever any just sort of like really big decisions. And again, I know this, but it's just like sometimes I feel like in the heat of the moment that things change, Virgo. Life can throw some unpredictable stuff, and then maybe there's a little bit more on the Seven of Wands here, Virgo. Let me get a little bit more on that. Virgo, let's see what's going on here. Hmm. Interesting. So the Seven of Wands is clarified by the Nine of Swords and the Three of Cups upright here. And that's a quite a contrast, Virgo, because I feel like for some with this Three of Cups, it's like that whatever this decision is, it's just like I feel like it's something that normally would be something that's celebrated, but with the Nine of Swords here, this is like a card of kind of like anxiety and like kind of like really just kind of really in our heads. And so I feel that I feel like pay I almost feel like that there's this pressure for some to like make a move or something along those lines. Just pay attention to if you have like maybe emperor types who may be trying to maybe force you into some sort of contract, or and not even force you, but maybe it's just like there might even be like a way with words, or just like Virgo, let's say for example, like I hear about those timeshare stuff, for example. It's just like Virgo, it'd be crazy if you didn't do this stuff, with how the economy's going. Uranus is going retrograde. You need to think about the future. We got all this stuff. Pluto's about to move into Aquarius. I know when that'd be something how that conversation went. But I do feel that if you don't feel confident in this, don't feel like you need to make a knee-jerk reaction right now, because there's going to be plenty of time for you to celebrate and, to get your Ten of Pentacles there. There's not a rush, I feel like, with this energy, but maybe a little bit more of that Three of Cups. Yeah, let me get a little bit more of that, Virgo. Interesting. Okay. So the Three of Cups is clarified by the Lovers here. And I feel that this can be an energy where we can celebrate here, but it's going to be something where we need to really listen to our gut when we're making this choice. Because I feel like that, like on the Lovers here, it's just like you got one side that's fruitful and you have the other side that's kind of destructive or kind of destroyed here. And I feel that it's going to be one of those that if you make your decision with your heart, with just thinking, trusting your instincts, that's going to lead to more fruitful type of decision, as opposed to if we just sort of rush things and then we have to kind of, it's like it almost not necessarily like limits our abundance, but it just like sets us back a little bit, so just something to think about there, Virgo. Yeah, fascinating energy, Virgo. All right, let's get to your last card here. Oh, right, Virgo. Interesting. Okay, so you have another one of your cards here, which is the first card of you, which is the Mother Lode. And with this is a card of prosperity, jackpot, success, good fortune, having plenty, moneymaker, sudden wealth, the real deal, on easy street, accomplishments, advantage, and fortune, and the prime source. And the energy, so overall, just this whole card, yeah, is pretty much what's resonating here, Virgo. And I feel that you can hit the Mother Lode and get a major point towards your Ten of Pentacles here, but again, I feel that there's really a strong emphasis here of this needs to be your choice. This is something that this is not something like, make sure that you're not being coerced, or that no one's like and again, I don't know if it's like they're necessarily pulling a fast one, but I just don't feel like we want to be in a place where we're operating from this state of anxiety or the state of pressure, or maybe this is something that we feel that like we have to do. We might even be maybe, or like pressuring ourselves here, something like that, Virgo. Like, I'm almost getting like a Five of Swords energy, where it's like, everyone else has this family, or they've got this house and things, and why don't I have mine, and blah blah, and all that stuff. But it may not be, you may have other things that you're focusing on right now. Maybe we're thinking about our careers right now, or maybe or everyone's journey is different, and how we get to Ten of Pentacles is all going to be different. But I'm almost kind of even feeling that if that's something that's even been resonating with you, as far as like maybe we're trying to follow, like maybe we just feel this pressure because everybody else seems to be kind of like, in a sense, getting it together, but maybe you feel like you're behind. Virgo, you're exactly where you need to be on your journey. And I know how that sounds, but it's just like if you've been feeling these energies and making these moves, it's just like take this time to reflect and figure out where higher self is, why, because I feel like if we were to check in with source and then we would really get the answers as to why we haven't made these moves. Maybe there's some things that we need to heal from, or maybe there's some past stuff that we need to address, or something along those lines. But let's get some tarot on this, get some details. Hmm. Oh, well, all right, then there you are, Virgo. Fascinating. Let's see what's going on here. Alright, small little reversal storm here, but that's alright. Because you have the Ace of Wands, the King of Pentacles, and then the Star card in reverse here. And let's switch back over here, Virgo. Because this is a very interesting reading that you got here. You know, because I feel like your head is in the right place as far as like where we're trying to go. You know, we're trying to get to this level of security and stability and things with the King of Pentacles being here. But I'm getting almost like, again, there's this like maybe apprehensive energy here, maybe for some, or maybe even for some, Virgo, maybe this could be this energy of we're having troubles committing to things. You know, maybe it's just like the responsibility of it is maybe too heavy for some. I'm not sure, and it's just like maybe we're wanting others to make this choice for you. But I feel that with the Star card being here, this is something where we need to make, where it is nice to get others' opinions here, but no one can make you take action other than you. You know what I mean? And because even kind of thinking about that too, you know, before the Star is the Tower. And, you know, maybe it's like we've gotten out of something, and maybe we've gotten to this place where we just like, we don't trust ourselves to make a decision, or even something along those lines. That's even fascinating there. Yeah. Let me get a little bit more with the King of Pentacles before we close out here, Virgo. Hmm. Thank you. Interesting. Was good, girl. So you have the Knight of, or excuse me, the King of Pentacles is clarified by the Ten of Cups and then the Empress here, Virgo. And both are upright. And yeah, Virgo, I really feel that this is one where we're going to, especially if that's something where if we've been like afraid to kind of make a move, or maybe we're not trusting our instincts, or that we can take on this responsibility of like what does, because I mean, Ten of Cups and Ten of Pentacles, it's just like maybe for some it's just like we're at this place of we're at a loss, in that we're looking for, I almost feel like with the Empress, it's like we may be looking for some sort of guidance, or maybe looking for some type of figure to maybe even like, I don't know, kind of help this thing along, or maybe even like, because that's even too now that I'm just seeing that with the Emperor and the Empress being here. It's just like maybe for some, it's just like we're looking for, and take this as it resonates, Virgo. And this may not even just be you. You know, this could be on the other side. But if there's parties where we're looking for an emperor to kind of take charge here, so that we can just kind of sit around and look pretty like the Empress, That's not the Empress is more than just that. She's not just a figure that just like she just sits around and abundance just comes to her. The Empress has two houses that she rules. Venus, and she rules very powerful houses. The second house with money, stability, finances, and then the house of relationships as well. And so we just I feel like you can manifest your own abundance, but I feel that there's a need to start making these trusting in yourself more, and maybe for some, or this could be maybe where if you're on the flip side, Virgo, and you're taking, maybe you're handling stuff for people, I feel like that's we want to be careful about enabling where we don't want to see them fail, but you can't do that unless they do fail. They have to be able to experience that in order to get that drive to take action. You know what I mean? So a lot to think about there, Virgo, but yeah, a lot to think about there, but I hope that makes sense, but I think I'm going to leave that there. So, all right, if anything resonated with you, Virgo, give it a thumbs up and share this, cuz yeah, that's fascinating, like, and I get that, because sometimes it's like, when we start thinking about those kind of like deeper commitments and things, that is a lot, and it can be kind of nerve-wracking at first. It's like, are we making the right decisions and things like that? But we got to trust in our instincts there, Virgo. That's how we grow on this journey. But about to get back into your reading, but yeah, share this, and if you haven't already, subscribe, hit that bell button, get notified on all these videos each week. And then last little bit, if you have any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, come on over to my other channel, The Chariot and Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans. I geek out, all the time. And that one was actually pretty tame there. The Empress and I have been keeping it under control. But it's a good old time. And all that housekeeping, down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here so I can get you out of here, Virgo. Interesting. All right, so you got the Five of Cups in reverse here. And I almost feel like with this, Virgo, that I feel like it's like we're almost afraid of like maybe disappointing ourselves, or maybe this could be even too, we may be afraid of disappointing others. It's like we want to make the right moves all the time. We want things to be perfect. We want things to be lined up and have this plan and have everything all figured out. But maybe some of us are realizing that it's just maybe we have a lot more to learn maybe than we thought, or something along those lines is what I'm getting with this Five of Cups here. But the Five of Cups is Mars and Scorpio, and that's a very resilient placement. I feel like it's one that you learn and you grow through taking action. It's not one where we can't shy away from these things, because these responsibilities and these, thinking about Ten of Pentacles, your happily ever after Ten of Cups, it's something we all have to do. And where the star card can be like a card of unexpected help. We don't want to, I feel like we want to be careful about, leaning too much into that, and being too codependent on others, because this is Aquarius energy, and that has to deal with like friends and networks and things. And again, where it is nice to have people to help you when you're in a pinch, we don't want it to become a place where we're just like giving them us all this sense of power, or feel like that we can't do anything without But let me get your oracle card. Thank you. Let's see what's going on here, Virgo. All right, Virgo. And you got the Nourish card here upright, and the energy that's coming through for me is that we've got to get into this habit, whether this is you or if this is someone that we're dealing with. We have to be able to get in this habit to be able to nourish ourselves, to be able to provide our own mother load, our own abundance, And I feel like it's making, just getting in the habit of being able to take care of your business, It's... And again, it's not that I'm saying that we can't count on others, because we're not in this by ourselves. We are meant to help grow together and do all these things, but we also have to, in order for that to have that mutual growth, there are things we do together and there are things we have to do we do apart, you know. So just something to think about there, Virgo. But I think I'm gonna leave that there. So you stay safe out there. Again, making these big decisions, and make sure that we're just planning ahead, and that and know that you got this, Virgo, and know that we're on the flip side. Know that your person will figure this thing out for sure. We just might need to take a step back and kind of let the bird fly. You know, you raise your vibration to the roof, because that can be kind of stressful. You know, thinking about all this stuff, and it can be. You know, make sure that you're just doing self-care and all that good stuff, and you know, just taking care of yourself. But and I will catch you on the next one later.